I hate beanbag chairs.
Is it because you can't get out of them? Because that's what I have started to realize.
Uncomfortable. Two things in life uncomfortable.
Okay.
Hammocks, beanbag chairs. Stupidest
Yeah,
things in the world.
here's the thing about hammocks. I really want to like them. I love the idea of a hammock, like a little bed that I can bring anywhere and just strap up and jump in. Hate them. Absolutely hate it. It's the worst.
It's one of those things you always watch on TV and you're like, hammock. Oh my God, someday my hammock, I'm going to get in a hammock. I'm going to be like, look at this. I'm in a hammock. I'm most comfortable I've ever been in my
Look at
life.
this.
Shit. They're garbage. Biggest garbage ever on the planet.
Just garbage. Yeah. No,
So
someday I feel like we're going to wake up and we'll be like, I get it.
Hey, watching with Dan and Tony. Hey, watching with Dan and Tony. It's Hey Watching, yeah.
welcome to Hate Watching with Dan and Tony. I'm Dan.
And I'm Tony.
We each week spend our valuable time watching a movie and doing lots of research about said movie so that we can come in here and give a thoughtful discussion with the occasional humorous aside
Oh.
about a movie.
I will say, just to full transparency, I don't do a lot of research, guys. That's a Dan Goodself thing. In fact, here was the amount of research I did on this movie. I watched Ben-Hur 2016, which was my choice because I was like, why would they remake something that's considered a masterpiece? And how did they make it an hour shorter? I don't have the answer to either of those things yet, even though I saw the movie. But the amount of research I did was I Googled an article
There it is.
called "What is the difference between Ben-Hur 2016 and Ben-Hur 1950s?" And then I didn't read the article. I saved it for later. Never went back to it.
Well, Tony, what I did was I read the Google pages about this Ben-Hur. Actually, I didn't read that one very closely.
Well,
I
because you watched it.
I read the thing about the old Ben-Hur.
Yeah.
I read the Wikipedia about Ben-Hur the book.
Oh, yeah. Great.
I read the Wikipedia about the guy who wrote Ben-Hur the book.
Did you read the Wikipedia on the Ben-Hur from 2010, which I didn't know existed?
No, I did not do that.
It's on Vudu. I searched the other day and I was like, wait, there's 3 Ben-Hurs? And I don't know, one in 2010. I don't know.
There's 4 Ben-Hurs because there's also a silent version from like 1910 or something.
Whoa, okay.
But most importantly, I started watching the original Ben-Hur, not the original, but
not the silent one, but the Charlton Heston
1956 one or whatever.
Yeah, something. Yeah, the 50s.
And holy moly,
everything was groovy.
It's a good movie.
Everyone says it's good, Dan. I should have watched it. I had it downloaded. I was like, I'm going to watch it on the plane, and then instead, I slept on the plane.
Yeah.
So.
No, but I mean, it's like, I was talking to my wife about this, and I was like, we watch these movies, and you wonder at a certain point, am I just sitting here watching this like a critical asshole who is just there to pick things apart?
Yeah.
Because you can always be critical. And
of
I
course.
mean,
this
Ben-Hur movie, it's not the world's most terrible movie, not by any stretch of the imagination, in my opinion.
It's not even the worst movie we've done. So.
No, not even close.
Yeah.
But it's not good.
It's not a good movie. It's hardly a full movie. And I assume it's because they cut out about an hour of story that they need.
Yeah, well, the other one is an hour and 38 minutes longer. It's like 3 hours 42, and this thing was 2:04.
It's a trek.
And they added all this weird not superfluous, but they changed all this stuff that really changes the tone of the movie and loses.
See, and that's what I was hoping that article I almost read was going to tell me. So instead, why don't you tell me? Because I need to know, because I feel like there has to be a lot of changes, because this one didn't make a ton of sense, but it also wasn't impactful in any way. It didn't really have a message as far as I can tell. It felt pretty jarbled on what they were trying to say. And I was like, I need to know what the old one was all about.
Was it jarbled?
Is jarbled not a word?
I don't believe so.
Well, it is now. I'm coining it. I'm going to make t-shirts. Jarbled.
Okay, first things first.
Okay, yes. Let's start at the beginning.
This is the best part about, if you're going to talk about Ben-Hur, you're going to have to talk about it being gay.
really?
So what they did when they made the 50s one
Yeah.
is they brought in Gore Vidal. You don't know who Gore Vidal is,
I
do
do
you?
not. Dan, this was 1950. Let's just keep that in mind.
Gore Vidal's a writer, and I believe he's gay.
Okay, great.
So what he did was he wrote in this subtext where Masala and Ben-Hur had a thing when they were young.
I love that. Yeah, that's great.
And then he told the guy playing Masala, you know this, didn't
But
tell
didn't.
Charlton Heston. Oh, no.
Well, first of all, you're not going to tell Charlton Heston. But
You're not
that's,
gonna.
I kind of, okay, that's great. I love, so one of them kind of has the subtext and the other one kind of doesn't. And then it's got to create this nice little clash.
It causes this clash.
Oh,
And
this is good stuff.
And basically, when they come together, because we don't do all the childhood thing of Ben-Hur getting injured and all that, we cut right to him
That's
coming
great
back.
because that was awful. I will talk about it when we get to the movie, but boy, was that stupid of, oh, God.
So he comes back as basically the guy number 2 in Jerusalem, just waiting for the second, the big boss to show up. He's there to quench and do all that. But he comes in there as a man, and Ben-Hur's a man. And then there's like this scene where they like come together and reconnect for the first time in like 10 years. And you could just tell he's like, man, I like you.
I like it. Hey, man, what's up?
Hey, how's it going? I'm seeing it.
It's funny seeing you around here.
And it's 50s, so it has to all be subtext. But god damn, there's so much subtext.
I like that little sexually charged. It's
and
nice.
it's your frisson between the two guys, right? Because his friend is basically, we'll talk about it, sending Ben-Hur to like basically his death and sends his family to their death.
Yep.
It's spurned lover stuff. It's not like, I gotta make a show.
It doesn't feel right in this movie.
No.
There's no reason. Like all of a sudden he just kind of comes back and he's like, I don't give a fuck about you. That's you raised me. I don't care. I don't care about any of it. You didn't really do anything. You were actually pretty nice to me, but fuck you.
More importantly, that whole raised him thing, they're just childhood friends in the old one.
Which makes way more sense.
Yes.
This whole weird backstory is very, very strange. And then they just kind of drop it for the most part.
And they set up this whole thing. I mean, maybe it's in the book. I don't know. But it didn't seem to be in the book. The movies, the old 50s movies seemed to follow the book pretty well.
Which makes sense. Yeah.
And the other thing is he wasn't an outcast. Like they make him like his father was something and his father did something wrong. And so they like banished him Masala when he was a kid. That's why he was with them.
Yeah. Something about like
his father had been governor.
Yeah, I don't know.
But in the 50s movie, he was a governor and everybody loved him.
Again, that makes more sense.
So he comes in as the big boss as opposed to like, where everybody's doubting him. There's like, it's just really weird.
Yeah, he was all like, I got something to prove. That's my masala. My tiki masala impression.
So the second thing I just wanted to talk about real quick before we get going.
Mm-hmm.
The book written by Union General in 1880 was the best-selling book from 1880 until the 1930s when Gone with the Wind came out.
Let's just talk about how times have changed because
Ben-Hur, a book. Who even knew it was a book? I certainly didn't know it was a book.
Not me.
Number one book in America for 50 years, and we don't even know it exists.
Yeah, nope, not today.
And in the book, there's way more Christ stuff. It starts with the gift of the Magi, Jesus being born. It's just all this stuff.
Full disclosure, when the first time that they say that that's Jesus in this movie,
you were like, what?
She kind of screams it, and it's almost like she's like, it's an expletive. It's so close. She's like, Jesus. And I was like, oh, yeah. Oh, wait. She's saying his name, Jesus. She's not taking the Lord's name in vain. Like, oh, Jesus. They're hurting him. She's like, Jesus, they're hurting you. I laughed for about 4 minutes when because I forgot that it was about Jesus because it's not really in this movie at all.
And more importantly, the title of the book and the title of the 50s movie is, I believe it's Ben-Hur: A Story of Christ.
Great. You know what you're getting into? I love that. He's barely in this movie. I don't know.
It's weird.
It's super.
It's super weird.
It feels super tacked on in this movie because they don't do it very seamlessly.
No.
And then they just kind of every once in a while they're like, "Oh, and by the way, Jesus is here."
He
I don't know.
walks out, saves the guy from stoning. You know,
They
gives
just
a
walks
cup of
back
water.
to his cave.
Back to his Jesus cave. Yeah. So it just sort of proves what how more secular we are now.
Yes,
In the extreme.
definitely, 100%.
So Ben-Hur, we start out 33 AD, Roman Empire. We start out with the chariot. Isn't the chariot race happening at the beginning?
They do that where he pulls up and he's like, "You should have killed me," and he's like, "I will," which I kind of like. I like the line, but that might be because I like this guy. I can't remember his name in real life. But
which guy did you like, Masala or Ben-Hur?
Masala. I like Masala. He's from The Sorcerer's Apprentice. He plays one of the evil wizard guys in it, and yeah, he's great. He's
good. So we cut back to 8 years earlier. Judah Ben-Hur is Jewish, and his friend that lives with him, an orphan that lives with him.
And thank God Morgan Freeman's trying to tell me all this in voiceover. Otherwise, I would have never understood any of it.
They're having the world's most arbitrary horse race.
Yeah, very boring.
And very boring. Judah's horse steps on a rock and he crashes. And so Masala stands there and yells for help, even though he knows no one's within 1,000 miles of them.
Of course, because you're racing horses, you're miles away from anywhere. Who's he yelling for? This guy's an idiot. Yeah,
shouldn't he have immediately gone like, "Oh man, there's nobody." Like give us some dramatic tension.
He probably should have just put him out of his misery because this guy face planted off of a horse. There's no way he's getting back up.
Tony, I have a question. Should you really move a body after an accident?
I would say it depends on the accident, but if a guy just got thrown from a horse onto his neck and shattered his spinal cord, nope, you don't want to move him. You're going to make it worse.
Make like a hut there, give him some shelter, go get the doctor, bring the doctor back.
Put him in a cave and let him rehab like Batman. That seemed to work pretty well for him.
It worked perfect for Batman, didn't it? Just put him in a cave.
That's right.
Didn't these people see Batman?
Come on, guys.
So they get back. He carries him back to his villa. First of all, they don't really say this in this movie, but Judah Ben-Hur, their family, richest family in Judea.
Well, they kind of, they don't say that, but they say he's like a prince at some point, right?
Yeah.
But then later, which is confusing, when he's talking to Morgan Freeman and he's like, "What's your name, son?" And he's like, "Judah Ben-Hur." I thought for sure there was going to be a moment where he's like, "Oh shit, you're a Ben-Hur, you're rich as fuck," but he just didn't know him.
He didn't know him, but more importantly, people should have known the family name because it was a huge name.
Like nobody seemed to know who, but he's a prince. I didn't understand it at all. I thought for sure they had some sort of clout. It seems like they didn't.
It's like, what's your name? Dan Musk. Are you related to Egon? Egon? What's his name?
Egon. Elon. Well, we're going with Egon from here on out.
I'd be like, yes, that's my brother's sister-in-law.
Even if it wasn't, you would say that because you got the last name. Yeah. But this guy, Ben-Hur, nobody knows him. Super rich, maybe royalty, but never heard of him.
So he carries him back there.
Do you think he carried him the whole way, or did he throw him on a horse and ride? Because that's a really long ways to carry him, Dan. I don't know if you know that, but a fireman's carry, it gets tiring.
He's a stud.
He is. You're right about that. He is a stud.
He probably carried him the horse, rode the horse, then took him off, and then carried him in.
Who knows?
Everybody's pissed at him for doing this.
Everyone blames him. You've done enough. Like, what did he do? They were on horses. That's what horses do. They buck people off.
Well, no, the horse ran into a rock. That's
sure.
bad
sure.
horsemanship on Judah Ben-Hur's point, right?
Maybe don't step on rocks, guy.
Now, in the house, we have Esther, we have Ben-Hur's sister, we have the mom. How long did it take you to figure out who the hell these people were?
Until they were sentenced to death, I think, about an hour and a half later.
Now,
I never understood who Esther and Tasmanian Devil are. Like, I never figured out, like, one of them's the sister, one of them's the girlfriend, and until one of them died and he was kissing the other one, I was like, oh, that must not be his sister, I think. But I can't be sure.
In the old movie, what it is Ben-Hur has his like main dude that does all, it's his main dude who's older.
He's got his main dude, yeah.
Esther is his daughter, but Esther's also a slave.
Okay. Sure.
And so he marries her off at a certain point to like some rando rich dude to buy her out of slavery. Because you have to buy somebody out of slavery.
Yeah, great. Good for you, Dad.
And then in the old movie, Ben-Hur then goes, oh no, I'll just buy her out of slavery. The first time he meets her, he doesn't even know her. It's the first time he meets her. He buys her out of slavery, and then they sort of start to fall in love, and then he gets taken away. In this movie, he buys her out of slavery, then he marries her.
Yeah, they're married for sure. Yeah, he's writing a letter to nobody, which we'll have to talk about in a second. But he's writing some letters like, and then I married her. But what's weird is he's like, I knew I could never marry her because it would kill my mother. It would send her to an early grave. So then her dad sent her off, and then I married her, and everything's fine. So I guess I was wrong. I guess it's not going to send her to an early grave. Everyone's happy. Don't worry about it. I don't understand anything that happens in that letter.
It doesn't make any sense.
No, sir.
Okay. We'll talk about her more in 1 second.
Okay. Great. Can't wait.
Yes. So we'll finish with Masala says, okay, I'm going to go to Rome, be a mercenary, make my fortune. I love your sister, but I'm leaving anyways.
Yeah, he doesn't love her, by the way. I think it's pretty clear throughout this movie he has zero feelings for her.
And that's why if he was in love with Ben-Hur, it makes some sense.
Yeah, 100%. It makes way more sense.
So later on, he sentences her to like death.
Not only that, okay, let's go through the timeline of their relationship just real quickly. So they're like flirty.
Yeah.
And then he's like, I think I love her, but I'm going to leave. I'm just going to go. Like, I too much work. I'm going to go and become rich, and then I'm going to come back. So he goes. He doesn't write to anybody. Never writes to her, never does anything. The next time he sees her, he's like, I thought about you all the time. When I was about to die, all I thought about was how much I wanted to hold you and kiss you. But then when I got better, I didn't write again. It was a couple more years. I didn't write. I didn't think about you. And now that I see you, let's kill her. Just get rid of her. I don't want to see her anymore. What the fuck is going on? This is the most bananas relationship in the world.
And in the 50s movie, you watch it, and he comes back, and he's all like, holding Ben-Hur's arm and stuff like that. Sure. And then he looks at her, and he's like, here's some presents, little girl.
Just go away. Go away. We're busy. Boys are talking.
They immediately run off and be boys. And you're just like, yeah, he's not in love with her.
No.
She's in love with him. And they mention that. There's a line in the 50s movie. So they're like, Ben-Hur's like, yes, she always loved you. And he's like, how's your family? He doesn't say. He deflects that so hard. He deflects it so hard. He doesn't say, oh man, I can't wait to see her. Is she still hot? No, he's like,
tell me sorry, my phone's ringing. Hello?
Okay, so 3 years later, Masala's at warring.
Oh boy. We won't spend a lot of time on this, but those are the most boring war fights of all time. I don't think they realize that there are people in Hollywood whose job it is to make fights look cool, and they do a good job. Like, I've seen some really great fights. Game of Thrones has great fights. You can do it. This is not it. These are real boring and real dumb. Everything's kind of shot kind of close and nonsensical. There's it's bad. It's bad stuff.
So the Romans are building a circus. They're stealing rocks from the graves, which is like, okay. You got confused about the word circus?
And they say it so many times. They hammer it home. And I'm like, I don't know what a circus is anymore. Because there's one point, I wish I would have wrote down Morgan Freeman's speech. He was talking about it and describing the circus. And he was like, people are going to have fun at it. And there's like different events. And I was like, is this a circus? I don't understand. I haven't seen a clown yet. But like, I feel like they're talking about it as if it's a circus.
It's like a coliseum.
That doesn't make sense. Why is it? I mean, it's our fault for changing the word circus, probably.
We mess with the word.
Okay. I don't like it to describe this. It doesn't make sense.
Yep. So Esther the slave is leaving to marry the rich Roman. He chases after her, gets her off the thing, and marries her. And then they ride around on a horse through town, and she hugs him, and he loves her.
He loves her. The mom seems thrilled. Everyone seems happy. I don't know why it was a problem to begin with. Question, Dan.
Yeah.
If you are a Roman and some old dude promises you his daughter and like you pay, I think you already might have paid for her, and then she just doesn't show up, are you just gonna be like, shoot, another one gone, I bet I'll find a new bride?
He paid the money. Ben paid the money. Yeah.
But what about the other guy? She was being sent off to the guy. He was expecting her. He's like, oh, my bride's gonna be here in 2 to 3 days horse ride, I can't wait. And she just never shows?
Well, just a pile of money shows up, and he's like more happy about a pile of money because they explain that Romans only care about money.
Oh, okay. All right.
We're going to talk about the East-West thing, too. That's a thing I wanted to talk about.
Tupac and Biggie? Or?
At the beginning of this movie, I'm kind of on the Roman side.
All right, but explain that to me. Because I didn't understand which side is which to begin with. So.
Well, in the 50s movie, you're like, the Romans are evil, but they're the West invading the East, essentially.
The conquerors.
Or at least whatever, central, whatever,
right.
Central.
Yeah.
And the West is this progress of wine and women and party and everything like that, which is what's still happening today.
Big time.
We're still doing this. And then you have the moral core that tries to stand against this and gets degraded slowly.
And I believe we call them buzzkills.
We do call them buzzkills. But it is interesting how the West always seems to sort of come out on top.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, the whatever you want to call them, the buzzkills in the middle, they try their best, but the West just keeps on degenerating them.
Because we're born to party. We're born to be free,
So Roman's bad, Jesus equals love. Ben-Hur is conflicted. So he goes into the stables, and then here's one of the zealots. It's a stupid kid, the kid we all hate more than anything.
Yeah, he's a monster.
He's so horrible.
Yep.
He's injured, and so Ben-Hur's like, "Oh, let me fix you. You can stay here."
Bad move.
Terrible.
Bad move.
So Masala is home. Tell me about war. Tells him about war. But his boss is kind of a jerk. That was the thing. Then we have the cemetery attack, where we have all these dead Romans in a cemetery.
So many. It looks like there's hundreds. This is like a big battle.
And more importantly, it just shows that these rebels are pretty terrible.
I mean, you're right. I mean, it seems like it was rather unprovoked, but they say it's like sacred ground or something, Dan. So, but you gotta get off my lawn, like that sort of thing. So
stupid kid's still living there. Masala comes to lunch with gifts to talk about his scar. Let's talk about that scar.
Did he tell a story about it?
No.
Oh, okay. You said you were gonna talk about the scar. Got it.
You and I are gonna talk about the scar.
Okay. Yeah. What do you want to talk about?
That is one of the coolest scars I've ever seen in any movie. It looks
so good.
It
because it's like face to ear, like it's a sword for sure.
Oh, it's so good. And the ear has this, and it's
little nick.
Yeah. And you see it all the time, and it's like, it's kind of gruesome, but it's kind of sexy. It's a great scar. I really enjoyed
it. Listen, great job, special effects, makeup people. You did it. You were the best part of the movie.
The scar game was on point. And then Masala immediately goes into, give me the names of the rebels so I can go and kill them.
Yeah, not a great tact. I mean, you really got to wine and dine these people first if you want something. That's just the way it goes.
Doesn't work. So here comes the big Pontius Pilate, or whoever is going to be in charge of Jerusalem. He comes riding up, and here comes stupid kid with his bow. Pulls the bow, shoots at him. Ben-Hur, I think, knocks him, so he misses.
Well, he screams, Ben-Hur is like, no, and then Masala looks up and he grabs Euron Greyjoy and like pulls him back so that the arrow misses.
Was that Euron Greyjoy?
Yeah, I think it's Euron, right? He's the guy from the Isles
Sure.
with the ships. Yeah, that's him for sure.
Oh, how cool. So he saves him. They rush into the house. Masala's like, nah, okay, Ben-Hur, you're going to the galleys. Mother, daughter, you're going somewhere. Why doesn't he do anything with his wife?
Well, doesn't she run away, right?
Does she run away? Well,
I think
Ben-Hur lets the stupid kid run away.
Well, yeah, he's like, go, go, go. But I think Esther, she's like hiding in a closet or something. And then she leaves. I'm pretty sure. Here's what I don't understand. Dan.
She's the only one left of the richest family in Judea. She is now the richest person in Judea.
Yeah, which also doesn't make sense because like, how does she just get it? That's not how. I mean, maybe that is how money worked then, but like I don't know.
In the old Ben-Hur, the 50s Ben-Hur,
yeah,
the Esther's dad, Simonides, who's like Ben-Hur's number one, takes Ben-Hur's money, keeps it, invests it. So when Ben-Hur comes back finally, he has made more money for Ben-Hur. So Ben-Hur's still richest guy around.
Which is kind of like Batman. He's like the Alfred to Ben-Hur's Batman. That's pretty cool. And I love that.
It's interesting.
And here's another thing that I will say is that it's not like Masala doesn't know that Esther exists. So even if she like left the house, he knows her. He's like, well, you were there. You were married. You're his wife. You were there. So you're dead too. That doesn't make a lot. Now that I'm thinking about it, it doesn't make any sense. Her just leave like, okay, we still know who you are, lady. Okay.
So stupid. Stupid boy.
But why does he kill them? So here's what I don't understand.
Why does who kill who?
Why does Masala send the women to death? Because they're fertile women, right? Everything we've heard from the Romans before was like, the kid was like, well, they killed my able-bodied father and then they raped the women because they're fertile. But these guys are just like, nah, toss them in the bin. I don't know, man. It just didn't make any sense to me.
If he was a spurned lover, it makes sense.
100%. Yeah. If he's like, oh, you SOB, I'm going to get you back. You're going to watch your family die. That's my heart broke. Now your heart breaks.
I'm going to tell you something else.
Tell it to me. Come on.
In the 50s movie, Ben-Hur gets sent to jail first. Then he escapes jail and goes in there and gets into Masala's chamber with a spear. So he's got Masala dead to rights. And they start talking. And Masala's like, you should have done what I told you to do. And he's like, never. And then he's like, go ahead, kill me. But if you kill me, then they're gonna crucify your mom and sister in front of you. You're gonna have to watch it. And so then he gives up and he goes to the Legion galleys.
Yeah, that checks out.
Big scene, huge scene of these two men coming to terms, and nothing in this. Nothing
at all.
Nothing
at all. I love it. This is a good movie.
So they put him. They put him in stocks and take him. Is that the same place that they did Shame? I think it is, isn't it?
It looks like it, doesn't it?
It looked like it.
Shame.
They shoot about 4 scenes on the Shame stairs. Shame stairs.
Yeah. Okay, got it.
And then Jesus brings him some water and uses his Jesus magic on the Roman soldier who says no water. Ooh.
Yeah. So, okay, Dan. I don't know a whole lot about, Jesus of Nazareth, his true story, origins, as they say. Why did he let him give him water?
Because he's magic.
But he's like Obi-Wan Kenobi type magic, where the guy's like, no water, and he's like, yes, I will give him the water. And it's like, okay, you give him the water, and I'll let you walk away. Doesn't make any sense to me, because then later, when Ben-Hur does it, apparently he's not magic, obviously, because then he gets like beat. And I was like, I didn't remember that being one of Jesus's powers. That's all.
To cloud men's minds.
Right. The mind control. I don't remember that part in the Bible.
Don't know. I just assume he has most powers. like Jesus
Great.
should.
I mean, that makes sense. Yeah, it makes sense. Now, did we know he was Jesus at this point?
Yeah, we know he's Jesus.
We do. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't remember that happening.
They have him doing carpentry at the beginning. So
Sure.
like,
yeah, no, but there's
carpentry.
also other people that were carpenters.
No, if you're going to put a movie in, a guy in a
He's
religious
the only
movie.
carpenter that's worthy of screen time. Got it.
Yeah.
Got it.
So we do the big boat battle. We do him rowing the boat.
Yeah.
Then we do the big boat battle, and then he escapes.
Hold on. I kind of liked the boat battle, and I especially liked the part where the guy was on the front of the boat, and then they rammed him into that was fun. He's like, oh, and then smash. That was very funny.
Who are they fighting, Tony?
I don't know. Egyptians. No,
They're fighting the Greeks.
the Greeks. I knew it. I was just going for one of the world powers back then.
So he gets away and floats away and then lands on a beach.
Now, he's the only one that survived?
Doesn't
because
matter.
he's the only head that pops up. And I was like, hi, that seems unlikely. I don't know.
Now I'm going to tell you what happens in the 50s movie. And this is as far as I got in the 50s movie, but...
Okay. How far into the 50s movie was this scene, would you say?
Less than an hour.
Oh, okay. All right.
About 50 minutes in. Oh, no, more than that. Like an hour and a half, I think. Yeah,
okay, yeah. That
like
checks
almost the halfway point. We were closing in on the halfway point. He sort of, the commander of his boat eyes Ben-Hur and is like, this guy I can make into a gladiator. So he goes and talks to him and is like,
sure,
dude, I'm going to get you out of here. I'm going to make you a gladiator. And Ben-Hur's like, go fuck yourself. Okay.
Of course.
Big battle happens. Ben-Hur kills the guy with the drums, gets the keys, unlocks everybody. So everybody's trying to escape. They all end up dying, but they're all trying to escape.
Sure. Yep.
He gets up there. The commander's there fighting. He throws a spear, kills a Greek, saves the commander. Commander then falls in the water. He dives in, saves the commander, puts him on a raft. So the only two people that live are Ben-Hur and the commander of the ship.
What? Why is it so different? This movie sucks. In this movie, let's just talk about what he does in this movie. In this movie, he's just sitting there, and then he sits there some more. And then he sits there some more, and then at one point, when other people start dying, he's like, "Oh shit, guys, we should row. We should row." And nobody's listening to him because they're all yelling all around him. But they make it seem like they're listening to him, but he's barely he's not yelling. He's just kind of like, "We need to row, guys. Let's row." And then they die, and then they crash. That's it. That's all he does in this one. What a you know what? I don't like the scene anymore. I thought I liked the scene, but it was just comparative to the rest of the movie, and now I don't like it anymore.
So at first Ben-Hur's like, okay, you're gonna be my boy. You're gonna row, and then they see a Roman ship in the distance, and they're like, oh, it's a Roman ship. They go on the Roman ship. The Roman commander, they find out they won the battle, even though all their ships got destroyed. They won the battle.
Wow, great job.
So he's a superhero, and then he's like, and this is my boy Ben-Hur. And they go to Rome. They meet the emperor, and he's like, "This guy saved me. He was accused falsely of." Oh, hold on, I forgot the biggest thing of all.
Oh, okay, yeah. Whoa.
You're gonna lose your mind.
Okay.
The 50s movie.
Yeah.
There's no stupid kid with a bow. Instead, what happens is his sister's up on the roof, and she accidentally knocks some tiles to the ground. And that spooks his horse, and he almost dies.
Wow. Okay.
So there's no villain involved.
So it's just like it's an unfortunate event that's a serious. That's beautiful. I love that. This movie's not good. I don't know why. Yeah, if you're going to remake something that was considered very good, why would you then change all of the things to make them not good?
Because they thought they were making it dramatic.
People are dumb.
People are dumb.
We humans, I'll say we because I'm very dumb, but I'm not trying to remake a classic. You know what I mean? I would never do that because they're better than me. I know that.
So basically, the Roman guy he adopts Ben-Hur, and then I think he's the guy that takes him to the city and does all the chariot stuff.
Oh, okay. Got it. Yeah,
so
that makes
a lot
more
more
sense than just like a random guy, and he's just like, oh, you know horses? Okay, you're in. No.
So basically, in this new one, he meets on the beach. He gets grabbed by Morgan Freeman. Morgan Freeman's like, "I'm going to give you to the Romans," and then
Right, which makes sense.
he proves that he's good with horses. He saves the horse's life.
Yeah.
And then he proves that he
Which is, hold on, let's talk about that for 1 second.
Yeah.
This was his bargaining. Ready? So Morgan Freeman's like, "Hey, I'm gonna give you to the Romans," and then Ben-Hur's like, "Well, don't do that because I can save your horse." And Morgan Freeman's like, "You can save my horse?" He's like, "Yeah. He's sick. He just needs charcoal." And then Morgan Freeman should be like, "Okay, cool, thanks. Now I'm gonna give you to the Romans because you told me how to save the horse. You idiot! You never tell them how to do it. You got to keep that knowledge to yourself, Ben-Hur."
Not bad.
So the movie should have ended very quickly.
So he saves the horse, and then the guy that's supposed to be their greatest chariot rider is he's just
An
shit.
idiot.
He's just
an idiot.
terrible. He's
like, "Hey, ride that horse on the inside," and the guy's like, "Nah, I'm not gonna do that." And then it goes haywire. Okay, you're an idiot.
It's like, this is your best guy, and he's just an arrogant asshole. And you've traveled halfway across the world to do this thing, and your guy just sucks.
He's just terrible. He's just awful. Yeah, this is ridiculous.
Okay, saves the horse, loses control of the horse.
Rides a cowboy. Damn it, I was late on the joke.
Less bread, more circuses. That's the Roman way.
Great, love that.
He lures. Okay, so we get back to Jerusalem. He lures Esther away, and she's like, "I'm hanging with Jesus. I don't want to."
Yeah. So oh boy, I don't know. Where's Mary Magdalene? Isn't she part of the story of Jesus?
She's part of Jesus' crew.
Right. Why don't we meet Jesus? I don't understand. So it feels so tangential. Like, I want it to be like a little more Jesus-y. Otherwise, it's super weird to me because, like, we see him, he saves him, he disappears. She's like, "Hey, I like Jesus and he saved you and he didn't have to," but then that's kind of all that is. And then he's on the cross and then Ben-Hur's crying. And I was just like, that story lifts out. And when you can say the Jesus story lifts out of the movie, you're doing something wrong.
Well, the Jesus story is supposed to be like all parallel.
I understand what it's supposed to be. I think it just wasn't.
Where Ben-Hur and Masala are like this back and forth, battling each other, and that's the way it's always been. And with the new Jesus paradigm, it's like all about love.
Yeah, love and forgiveness, and
which is not what the paradigm that still plays out. We still play out the old paradigm
for sure.
Because that's the way of humankind.
Yeah.
So he's like, "Okay, now I got to talk to Masala." So what does he do, Tony? How does he contact Masala?
He gives him the sword, sends him the sword, and he's like, "Hey, meet me, right?" Yeah. Great.
How does he have this sword?
Well, Masala gives him the sword when they see each other. He's like, "I killed a bunch of people with it, and now I'm going to give it to you so that you don't use it," or something. It was. I promise you that it was close to that line. It was that dumb.
So they let him have the sword while he was a slave on the galley?
No. This was before. It was the first time they see each other and they're like hugging and catching up. He was like, "Here, I want to give you my murder sword as a token of our friendship," or something.
So how does he have the murder sword when he comes back to Jerusalem?
Well, he carries it with him up his anus. That's how you smuggle things. I don't know if you know this, Dan.
For 5 years, I've carried the sword.
That's how you smuggle things in and out of jail. That's what I've been told.
So Masala goes to his old house, and there's Ben-Hur. "Oh, Ben-Hur, I'm tucking all gravelly now, gravelly Ben-Hur."
Oh yeah, he's real manly. Oof.
How much did he look like our friend Darren?
He's like a weird looking Darren. Like, I would have rather Darren played it because this guy's head was just not quite the right shape. I feel like Darren's got a very symmetrical head.
So Masala, of course, brought troops, so the troops rush in there, and of course, Ben-Hur being like the stealthy 20th level thief, just like
it's basically Assassin's Creed up in this bitch.
And so then they killed 20 Jewish people because he attacked them. Because he attacked them.
No, he punched him right in the face.
Oh, he did punch him in the face.
What are you doing? What an idiot. Ben-Hur is an idiot.
And that's the whole point of the movie, although we don't really dig into that.
Is that Ben-Hur's an idiot?
Yeah, Bender's an idiot.
Interesting. Okay.
So Morgan goes and it's like, okay, what we got to do is we got to give them all this gold and then take all these bad bets. And then
Yeah, I didn't understand it.
you're going to give us magic immunity because Romans love gold.
Yeah, because they love money. You said it. They love money.
Why is Morgan Freeman betting like all of his money on Ben-Hur?
A guy that he barely knows?
Yeah.
I have absolutely no idea. I don't know what Morgan Freeman's doing at all in this movie. One, why is he the one narrating? Other than the fact that it's Morgan Freeman.
He's God.
And he's got Is he?
Yeah, of course he's God.
He's God in this movie?
I think he has to be, right?
So then Jesus is his son.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
I mean,
they never talk to each other.
Doesn't he have to? Well, God, telepathy.
Now he's got mind powers? Unbelievable.
I think God can do whatever he wants to.
Oh, you're right about that.
I mean, he kind of has to be God, right?
I mean, I guess. I don't know.
Could have made more room in that that hallway for that last guy carrying the stretcher.
Oh my God, I can't. What a moment that is. Hey, move out of the way. Move. No one, you guys don't want to move? Everybody knows what's happening, right? I don't understand. We'll talk about it. It's the greatest moment of the movie. Oh my God.
Okay, so they do some more practicing. Esther visits Masala.
And she's like, hey, don't do it, right?
And yeah. So then at midnight, this random dude comes and's like, I know where your family is. I saved your family.
Okay. I don't understand this part of the story.
Yeah.
So he's like, yeah, no, your friend Masala couldn't save them, so I saved them for him.
Yeah.
What does that mean? Why would Masala didn't want them saved? If he wanted them saved, he probably could have saved them, right? But then this guy's like, no, I'll save them, and I'll just send them to a leper colony because that's smart. I don't understand any of this. What happens? You don't know. You stopped watching the 50s movie. I was going to tell you what happens in 50 because it's got to make more sense than what just happens here.
I think it makes a lot more sense in the 50s movie because we'll
never know.
I think the guy that saved his money, I think he does it too, or there's an explanation. There's a real explanation.
A real explanation. Okay. Other than like, guys, I just did it. I did it. Don't worry. I did it.
Well, it's like, you saved me once before you were going to kill me. You're going to kill me, but you didn't kill me. So now
But he didn't kill him because Masala hit him in the face. Masala knocked him out from behind. That's the only reason you're not dead, bro. I don't know. It's very dumb. And then we just cut and they're like, well, we're dying. So you got to get out of here. And I was like, what is the point of any of this? And now you find out the point at the end of the movie when they're just magically healed
by rain.
Oh boy. But we got to save the end of the movie because there's too much good stuff in the last 5 minutes.
Okay, so talk about his haircut.
Which guy's haircut? Ben-Hur's?
Ben-Hur's haircut.
I imagine that the actor who plays Ben-Hur booked another role and he needed short hair for it. And he was like, our movie's not going so great, so I'm just going to go do this other movie. And they're like, no, we need you to finish it. You can cut your hair. We'll put it into the movie and you can do both films. Because there's no reason for him to cut the hair. He's not trying to be someone else. He's not trying to hide himself. They straight up, Morgan Freeman's just like, hey, you know who's racing. It's Ben-Hur, your friend, Masala, so let him race. I don't understand it. Why did he cut his hair?
I think the role he was out for was adult Shia LaBeouf. This is like the most...
you to put older Shia in a flash forward, please.
It's like the most contemporary haircut on any human being on the set.
It doesn't make any sense in this time period. It's so weird. Also, speaking of things that don't make sense in this time period, at one point, Ben-Hur says like, oh, that's very progressive of you.
Oof.
I don't think that saying was a thing back in the Ben-Hur days. I don't.
No. When you look at any of that kind of stuff, like when they first do medicine on him, when they, all the things they say, you're like, no.
No, that's modern medicine, guys. That's not right at all.
Oh, we gotta cauterize this wound so the germs don't get in there. It's like, oh, please stop.
No. You just wrap it.
Okay, so we're getting there. Lepers, haircut, Ben-Hur, boy band.
That's lepers, haircut, boy band. That's a great list, Dan. That's beautiful.
And then we have the chariot race. There's like an Egyptian, there's like a German, there's like a Italian, there's like it's everybody. Like every race.
All over the place.
Like a Viking, everything.
I love it. Yeah. Way to be inclusive.
And then it's like avoid the gate.
I didn't understand. Do you understand what that means? I don't understand.
Oh, the gate is when two guys come on both sides of you and then they crush you in between them.
Oh, okay. Did they explain that and I missed it?
He explained it at one point earlier.
Shoot. Sorry, Morgan.
When he was talking about the two things you got to know is the gate, and then you got to know how to ride on one wheel.
I remember the one wheel part. Okay, I missed the gate.
The gates,
So it sounds like it's pretty easy. If you only need to know two things to do the race, it doesn't sound that hard.
Two things is it.
I feel like I could learn at least one of them.
So Masala kills like the first three guys. Boom, boom, boom. Kill, kill, kill.
Yeah, is this like...
It's like the pod race.
I mean, it's 100% episode 1 pod racing. You are absolutely right.
It's the pod race.
Except
with horses. So the horses can immediately at any time go like this.
Right. Oh boy, we got to talk about how this race ends because it is bizarre. But is it like, do they just kill the horses like this?
Oh,
did they just have infinite horses back then? I'm very confused.
Okay, dude. In the Colosseum,
yeah.
So you'd go get lions, you'd get bears, you get whatever you could.
I've seen Gladiator, Dan.
Oh, there you go. They would. I don't know if they did this at Gladiator. They could fill it up with water and then do boat battles.
No, they did not. But I need to see that. That actually sounds awesome. That sounds very cool.
Yeah,
and also very wasteful of your water. No wonder we're in a water crisis, guys. They just wasted it on boat battles.
So there's a lot of hiya, yeehaw, hi, yeah. Everybody's.
Well, you're missing the action of this because this is apparently action in this movie. Just constantly doing this like Santa Claus. It's great.
Oh God! So talk about it some more, Tony.
I
wrote very little down for this part.
Overall, it's just a very boring sequence, and this is supposed to be exciting, and maybe it's exciting in 1950, but in 2016, this is no longer exciting. We've done a lot of stuff, guys, and you have to do something better than close-up shots of these guys on a green screen just going yeah. It just doesn't work. That's not tension. But what I want to talk about is Morgan Freeman in this scene.
Yeah.
How big do you think the circle is in a Coliseum? You think it's pretty big? Because he seems to be everywhere all the time.
Oh, it's not very big at all.
He'll disappear into a hallway and he shows up at the next part and he's like, rah, rah, rah. And then he goes into the next part. He's like, watch out for this. And then he goes, he's
in the same hallway.
He's teleporting everywhere.
Oh, no. It takes them probably about a minute to do a lap.
To get around.
If that.
Well, he's not huffing and puffing very hard for a guy that's running back and forth.
He's in the same tunnel the whole time.
But he's in different entrances of the tunnel. So he's like sprinting down a tunnel and going to the next tunnel.
He's in the same tunnel the whole time.
No way. I don't buy it.
Tunnel.
I don't buy it. I don't buy it, Dan.
If you go and look at that tunnel, it's the same tunnel.
I would love to look at the tunnel, but they don't shoot things in a way that I can understand spatial awareness in this movie.
That is true. And it doesn't make a lot of sense. There's like 8 fish is the length of the race, and you don't know how long a fish is.
Nope, you have no idea. But I do like the fish pouring stuff out. That's cool. I don't know how they do that.
Their fish are really cool. Well, they fill them up with water and they pull a rope, and then the fish goes...
Pours it out of his mouth. I love it.
Pretty cool.
I think it's cool. Yeah, it's a great way to tell me what's going on.
People get crushed. People get dragged. At one point, Ben-Hur gets dragged literally for 2 laps.
And
when he gets back in the thing,
totally fine.
No effect.
he wasn't being dragged, because this is how people used to like kill other people in the West, right? They would tie him to a horse and they go, yeah, and then the horse would run and then that guy's dead.
Like within like seconds.
Right? Like you're being dragged. You're dead. You're tore to shit. You're bleeding everywhere. Ben-Hur, fine. Totally fine. Guy's a superhero.
God gave him a magic shield. Magic shield!
Well, Morgan Freeman's a god, you said. So actually, now that you're saying it, it makes sense. And it makes sense that he can be everywhere all at once. So you've solved all my problems.
So basically they lap around, he gets dragged, and he gets up on his thing and has to ride it one wheel, and then he locks in with Masalas, and then Masalas
Wait, don't give the ending yet. Let's take a step back and talk about the hallway with Morgan Freeman.
Okay.
Because we brushed over it.
Okay.
So first of all, the fact that somebody's job is to run out in the horse races and pick up the dead bodies is so dangerous.
Well,
that sounds like a terrible job.
More importantly, they don't just run out and grab the body. They run out with a big, heavy stretcher.
Like a stretcher.
And put the body on the stretcher and then have to carry this. It's just like, go grab the body.
It's just drag it by any limb that you can grab and get it off the, like, come on, guys. But so they go out. So these two guys go out to pick up a body, and they're on the way back, and then all of a sudden the hallway's too crowded.
Everybody wants to watch from the hallway.
Everybody wants to come, even though they know that these two people's job is to go get the bodies, and they're all watching it happen. None of them move. And Morgan Freeman's like, you got to back up, guys. They can't get back in. Back up. And there's like 20 seconds of people being like, no, I just want to see the race. Fuck those guys. And then one guy gets run over. And it's awesome.
Did that ever happen to you? Like people in the wings when you're doing theater or we're doing improv? There's always people like waiting there looking out.
I mean, you're right. But generally, I'm not in imminent life danger. Okay. But they just wouldn't move. Nobody would move, and then the guy just died, and nobody freaks out. Nobody's like, oh, my bad, guys. I should have moved back. They're all just like, okay, let's keep watching the race. I don't know. So weird.
So Ben-Hur wins. Everyone is happy, and
hold on, Dan. Talk about the end of the race.
There's dead horses everywhere.
I mean, there's hundreds of dead. That's what I'm saying. There's so many dead horses in this, and they do this more than once. If this was like a once-in-a-lifetime event, I'd be like, okay, I guess I can understand it. But they're just throwing horses away, just left and right. And horses are great, okay?
Horses worth probably more than as much as a human slave, I would not be surprised.
I would imagine, yeah, for sure.
Horse, very valuable.
Before we move on, just talk about how far ahead Masala is.
Yeah.
And then how does Ben-Hur catch up?
He goes like this. Yeah, 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 yeah.
He covers at least a half a lap. Like he's a half a lap behind him. He catches up, but then when he catches up, he can't pass him. Then they run the same speed. But he's like, Masala's going and going and going, and Ben-Hur's like catching up from way behind the track. And then when he reaches him, his horses are like, all right, well, now we're tired.
Yeah.
So now we're just going to go the regular speed. I don't understand it.
It's called the burst of speed.
Burst of speed. He shot him with adrenaline.
Yes. He hit the nitro button. Haven't you seen Mad Max Fury Road? There's like that.
Dan, I have not seen Mad Max Fury Road.
You've not seen Mad Max Fury Road?
I never saw it.
Why not?
Well, because Mel Gibson's not in it. And so I was like, that's not Mad Max to me. Let's move on.
What is wrong with you?
A lot. I have a lot wrong with me, Dan. I got a lot of problems in my personal life.
And Big Roman says they're all Romans now because everybody's Roman because they all played the game. They all
I didn't get that.
I got that a lot. I thought that was one of the best lines in the movie because it just shows that's how we win. We the West infect you with Pamela Anderson and bloody football and rollerball intel.
Rollerball, great.
They're no better than us. We make them no better than us.
So we drag you down. We don't make ourselves better. We drag you down. I like that.
Drag you into our pit of filth.
You're right about that.
Then they have big tent party at night.
I don't remember that.
They just that night they have like a big party.
They just have a
on the
party.
Jets. Yeah,
Okay,
big party.
great. They celebrate.
And then the Romans are like, okay, now we're done with Jesus. Jesus arrested.
Yeah. No, I don't get it.
Crown of Thorns. Ben-Hur's like, I'm looking for Esther. Oh my God, there's Jesus. Jesus, let me give you some water, bro.
He's not looking for her. He hears her scream.
He did hear
in
her.
a town full of people. They're marching Jesus down the street, and she said something. He's like, "Oh, Esther? I'd recognize that voice from miles away." And then he chases her down. Awful storytelling.
Does he chase her down, or does he just run outside and then give Jesus water? I don't think
It's
Esther's
that
in
one.
the
Yeah,
scene.
he never finds her. He's just, it's like a Marco Polo type of situation. He just can't finish the game.
So he goes and he gets to watch the crucifixion.
Yeah, and he's all upset about it, even though he doesn't even really like this guy.
The stupid kid that tried to shoot the thing is up there too, so I was like happy about that. And then God does some cloud work.
Vengeance.
Cloud work.
Yeah.
And then Judah prays in the rain, and he drops his rock.
Yeah, which I didn't actually realize he had.
Now, it makes you feel like they were setting up the idea that they were going to attack the Romans with rocks. But they don't show us that. Instead, they just show him dropping a rock, which we didn't know was a thing that could have happened.
I didn't know he picked it up. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't know that he had the rock. And when he put it down, I was like, why'd you have a rock? I didn't even understand that was they were saying that they were going to attack. I didn't get it.
That is the subtext, is that then we're good with Jesus dying, and we're praying, and then God cures his leper family.
Hold on. It is my favorite part of the movie. Because, oh my God, dude, it's so good. The rain starts falling.
Yeah.
We cut to the lepers getting rained on. Then we cut away as she's saying, "We're healed." That's it. That's all you get is just them. They get a moment of them, and then it cuts away, and she's like, "We're healed." Awful. It is the worst conclusion to a story I've ever seen in my life. They're just like, "Oh, we're magically healed. Great. How did that happen?" Nobody cares. It's ridiculous. And it's a great line. It's like a 10 out of 10 line for me.
So then we see, then he goes and he gets Esther. So Ben's got Esther. And then we go and there's Masala laying on the thing. His leg is gone.
Yeah.
And he yells at Judah, and Judah's about to yell at him. And then he's like, "No more killing. I'm going to carry you like you once carried me. Forgive me.
It's so clunky because he's like, "You did this to me. I hate you. This is your fault." And he's like, "Hey, my bad." He's like, "Okay, I forgive you. You're right. This is silly. I lost my leg, but I'll be fine. We have recent advancements where I'm going to be okay.
I think I make him a robot leg. It's going to be cool.
I'm going to be faster than everybody, so I'm good with it."
Now, talk about like the uplifting song they play.
It's period appropriate. You know what I'm saying? That's for damn sure. Jesus. Hey, see, it works. Jesus. This whole last scene is so bizarre to me. So they forgive each other too soon, without a doubt. Masala and Messiah.
Wrong guy.
Masala and Judah. They forgive each other too quick. It's awkward. It's clunky. It makes no sense.
Yeah.
And yet it makes so much more sense than when he brings him to meet the mom and sister, and immediately they smile and hug him. I'm sorry. Nope. He sent them to die. They got leprosy. He didn't cure them. So, no, they're not going to just be like, "It's all good, Jew. We love you." Fuck this movie.
Like, what did Masala do for them at all?
Literally nothing other than tried to kill them. Like, he's an ungrateful little bitch and tried to kill them after they raised him. They didn't need to do that. But he's like, "You know what? Fuck you. You're dead." And then they see him again. They're like, "We forgive you. We were dead for years. We've been suffering for 5 years because of you, but it's cool."
Maybe the rain washed away the 5 years of memories. All those memories were gone. And they sort of like reset. You know, God gave them a casual reset.
I was so mad. So mad when that happened. It is ridiculous.
So I'm gonna watch more of the other one, or probably won't watch more of the other one.
I want to watch the old one.
It's fun. It's interesting. I mean, it is
Can
long and it's a bit long-winded.
Yeah.
It's on HBO Max.
Oh, yeah, which is good.
Which is nice.
I have a question, Dan,
Yeah.
and this is I don't want to offend people,
Uh-oh.
so let me apologize. It's just my ignorance. He's only got one leg, right?
Masala. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
He could be
But
a
at the end
beggar.
of the movie, they're riding horses together, and then they like race the horses in slow motion. Can he ride a horse with one leg?
What happens is you end up riding in a circle.
Oh, okay. Got it.
Because you can only spur on one side. So
So the horse only feels it on the right side. He's like, oh, I guess I got to turn. Okay. Let's go. Oh, my God.
We're sorry. We're being so...
Sorry, you know what? I shouldn't have brought it up. It's my fault.
I don't think that was the thing they're most worried about in this movie. Is the accuracy of his ability to ride a horse.
Well, I was, because they made a point of telling me he didn't have one leg. So I was just a little confused.
Yeah, yeah.
But you're right. So one more thing on Morgan Freeman being God.
Yeah.
Is you're right, because again, he comes back with a voiceover and he's like, a lot of miracles happened that day.
You're welcome.
Which again is awful. Yeah, but it's like, okay, so he's telling us what he did.
Yeah.
I get it now.
Yeah.
I'm on board with this theory.
He's a magic man. He's magic man. Whoa, whoa.
What a treat.
What a treat.
Yeah. Yeah, don't watch this movie, watch the original.
Or somebody watched the 2010 version. Let us
know. Yeah, I'm curious if it's any good. It's got to be better than this, Dribble.
Oh, no, it does not have to be.
You don't think so? I'm going to watch all of them. I'm going to do a Ben-Hur weekend.
This movie at least had some nice haircuts.
That's what you're taking away from this, is nice, period-appropriate haircuts.
Haircuts, scar work, you know?
The scar's great. Scar's great, yeah. Oh boy.
So this is the point at which we talk about something we like this week. We started watching the Andrew Garfield show Under the Banner of Heaven.
How is that?
Holy moly.
Oh, okay, great.
We're watching the Anatomy of a Scandal.
Yep, okay.
Oh, so terrible. Do not watch.
Great.
Avoid at all costs. Or if you watch one episode, do not expect it to get any better. It stays exactly the same.
Okay.
Then we turned this on and we were like, holy moly, what the fudge is going on?
Oh, good. I'm excited. We
Totally
watched the trailer and we're like, as soon as we're done with Ozark, that's what's happening.
I think it's a good something after Ozark. Yeah.
I'm excited. Okay. Wonderful news.
So what do you got for us, Tony?
Well, I went to the vault. The vault.
The Voldemort. The Voldemort.
The Voldemort. He who shall not be named. I went to something a little older on HBO Max, which I've wanted to watch for decades, but just never really got around to it. It's the Larry Sanders Show. A show that everybody is like, it was revolutionary, it's great. And I'm like, it can't be that good. It turns out it is, Dan. It's a wonderful show. I've watched like 3 seasons this week, and I'm not stopping. Gary Shandling, oof, boy, R.I.P.
One of the best sitcoms ever made.
Phenomenal. It is amazing.
Just they know they know where they are. They know how to hit it. The characters are the characters.
Mm-hmm.
And this stupid movie, Ben-Hur, like there's a few times where the characters are different characters and different.
Oh, definitely.
Poor Masala has to play like 3 different characters at different times. You're like, now I have to be this guy. Now I have to be this guy. These guys are not connected in any way, but I'm playing them.
But I'm doing it.
Larry Sanders is like Larry's sleazy. He's kind of a jerk.
And I haven't finished it yet, but I don't imagine there's much of a redemption arc. I think that it's just kind of all the way through. And Jeffrey Tambor is just so fucking good.
You need to track, after you finish it, you need to track down, if you haven't seen it, his Jerry Shandling's the documentary about him.
I will, because that's
have you watched?
didn't Judd Apatow do that?
Judd Apatow
Yeah.
was real good friends with him, had access to, I believe, all his journals, everything after he died,
Oh, wow. Okay.
and all his home movies. And he's such an interesting guy,
Okay.
not, I won't say troubled, but more like complex. There's a bunch
Okay.
of stuff in him that
All right. I'll definitely
is
watch
a
that when I
complete
finish it.
mess.
I mean, the best always are.
Yeah. So next week we have a movie we've been waiting for.
Woo!
A movie called Food Fight.
Food fight.
Tony tracked it down on DVD so we
I
can
did.
watch it. Oh, he's got it there.
Got it right here. Food fight.
Um,
Food fight.
I think this is going to be one of the worst animated movies of all time.
That can't be there. Charlie Sheen is in it. Ava Longoria, Hilary Duff, Wayne Brady. I mean, those are just the four on the cover. Who knows who else is in this, Jim?
I have the feeling it's going to be kind of like whatchamacallit. What's the Steve Martin movie with Eddie Murphy? Bowfinger.
Bowfinger. Oh, God.
It'd
I
be
love
like-
Bowfinger. You don't like Bowfinger?
Bowfinger, one of the greatest movies ever made.
Oh, okay.
It's going to be like that. They're gonna pan a shot, and then Charlie Sheen's going to be like walking to his gym in the background. They're like, Charlie Sheen's in our movie.
He's in the movie. I am excited for this. This was a good find, Dan Goodsell. Very excited.
I saw it somewhere and watched a clip, and the clip just made my brain melt. And so I was like, we gotta watch all 93 minutes of this mess.
Point.
How long is that movie, Tony?
Oh, this movie is, of course. Oh boy, I wish I had glasses, Dan. Keep talking.
You know, you can buy glasses. That's a thing that they sell.
91 minutes.
91 minutes, people.
No, it's be easy, quick. Look, I have glasses. Look at this.
Oh, Jesus.
There we go. Oh, I can't see with them. Like, it changes everything.
Yeah, you can see.
No, but it changed. I can't. My depth is. I don't know. I don't like them. Oh, now you're blurry. Is that supposed to happen when I take them off? Like, my eyes are like wrong.
You mean when you're not wearing glasses and everything's blurry? Yeah, that's how it works.
But it doesn't start that blurry. You know what I mean? Like, this is why I don't believe in glasses. Have we ever talked about this? I'm going to go. This has been a short episode. I'm going to go on a little rant about my glasses here. I think glasses weaken your eyesight. And here's my proof. I can see pretty good right now. Like, not great, but I can see, right? But then I put on my glasses and like my eyes take a minute to adjust to it, right? And then everything's a little weird and I'm like, okay, but I can see pretty clear. But then I take them off and then it's like 30 minutes my eyes can't focus on anything because they're weaker, because they just give up. So if I wore them for an extended period of time, my eyes would just quit on me. That's for sure. That's science. I am pretty sure. I have empirical evidence of that. Pretty sure. So I don't wear glasses for that reason. What? I think it's true.
I'm sitting over here agreeing with you, Tony.
I can't tell because you're all blurry, but I don't think you're doing that. All right.
Little Tony
Science.
wisdom there. So
yeah, guys, don't get glasses. Nobody.
Ben Hur. It's gonna be one of our shorter episodes. You're welcome.
Yeah, enjoy it. Enjoy the rest of your day. You know, go outside, enjoy the sun, read a book.
This has been Hate Watching with Dan and Tony. If you like what you see, leave us a comment, leave us a thumbs up, subscribe. Those are all things you can do. Other things,
leave a comment about whether you like glasses or if you think that they might be bad for you.
Yeah. And we'll be back next week with Food Fight, and we'll see how much Charlie Tuna there really is in this movie.
It's going to be all Charlie all the time. Goodbye, everybody!
Hey, watching!